Hello, everyone. And all fellow cave dwellers. So welcome to our podcast, Beyond the Cave. My name is Olivia.
I am Patrick.
Feel free to call me Liv.
And I am Patrick.
All right. Yes, welcome to our very first episode where each week we're going to be discussing a movie that we recently saw, whether that be one that just hit the theaters and everyone's so excited about, one that hit the theaters and absolutely nobody's excited about except probably me.
This is like a get to know the host. This is like episode 1.
It's the pilot.
If you've just found us, you've watched another episode, you want to know what we're all about, this is kind of the episode. What's interesting about this too is you are a huge movie fan.
Yeah.
You are old school movies. You are new movies every week. I, however, am more of a casual movie fan. I go to the movies, I enjoy movies, but I'm not quite as deep as you.
No. Let me. Patrick is the type of movie fan where I will put on a movie and then he watches it. He does like his own version of like the dad move where like he'll stand there and you'll say, "Hey, do you want to sit down?" He's like, No, I'm doing something. And then 10 minutes later, his ass is on the couch. But it's not fully on the couch. It's like it's kind of like off the couch a little bit, and you're kind of looking at him like, get a blanket, get some popcorn, get a stuffed animal.
I struggle.
And then at the end of the movie, it's like, wow.
I struggle with sitting down to commit to a movie.
That's fair.
Whenever you are on Netflix or whatever, and you're saying, want to watch this, want to watch that, it's basically always a no. There is very little time that I will sit down and choose to watch a movie.
Yeah.
But when it's already on and I can just allow myself to slip into it,
I'll let
then
you
I'm
have
good.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you have that.
Yeah. Although I will say actually going to the movies is a really fun experience for me. And it's definitely like one of my preferred things to do because it's just away from home. You're just sitting there doing nothing.
There's also significantly less options when you're going to see a movie.
And I think that helps for me.
Yeah, because it's like, well, where we live, our big movie theater is probably considered to be a super small movie theater in some big cities. So we usually only have, I would say, 8 options in English and then a few options in other languages.
Yeah. We're a decent size. Like we've got IMAX and we're not small.
We have 2 IMAX screenings.
The differentiating factor for where we live is that we don't have movie theaters where they have the big couches or the like actually bringing you food kind of
we don't
thing
have
that
theater
are
service.
present in really nice cities. So we don't have that. We're little.
One of our movie theaters has rocking chairs, but not like a grandma rocking chair, just like movie chairs that
actually move, and that's a big deal for us.
Oh, it's huge for wigglers.
Yeah.
I think the first question is, Patrick, are we qualified to talk about movies?
I think everyone is qualified to talk about movies. We're not
perfect answer.
Professional critics. You have an English degree, so you are good at doing and analyzing, and I'm here.
In my language, that means that I can be extremely annoying to go to the movies with.
But also you notice a lot of really cool things that I sometimes don't pick up on, like symbolism and cool things like that.
Yeah.
So you're a little bit more into that. I feel like you're like the more in-depth person and I'm the more casual. Like
nice.
That liked
makes me sound super, super cool.
You are super
and
cool.
So not annoying.
No, you're just nerdy.
Yeah, it's true. And everyone shouldn't be nerdy about something. But I don't know. I grew up like are any of your questions about the history?
Of movies?
No, of like my movie life.
1902. Cinema begins.
That's what this... Oh, actually, maybe we should do an episode sometime about
the history of cinema.
Just a little bit.
Perhaps.
Someday.
They don't want it, but it's fine. They want to know what we think about.
Real ones want it. But my history of movie watching was... like my family heavily relied on the film. So if I was going to spend the night at my Nana's house, it was... Well, we called her pull-out couch downstairs the magic couch. So it was, we're going to the magic couch and we're going to watch a movie that we don't have at home, which included like Lady and the Tramp and Anne of Green Gables.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it was a big part of your family.
It was and it was like Nana bought chips and we're drinking some Crystal Light and we're going on the magic couch. And when I say we're, my little sister and I.
Okay.
And then my mom worked shift work growing up, so she worked nights. So on days that my dad was working, it was, girls, I'm going to put a movie on for you. And she would probably sleep on the couch or in her room.
Okay.
Movies were a big.
It was a big part for you.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
And we just watch movies casually.
Yeah.
And, I'm not done. Oh,
Okay.
I'm so excited now. And as I got older, I used to have movie nights with my friends. So I love being at home. And I had a one friend. I need a one dance. Anyway, I had one friend who we would have movie nights every single week on Friday nights. And that started at watching Popcorn Picks on Family Channel. But then it moved into go renting a movie at our local movie rental store, which was not Blockbuster. I am from what some would call a small town. So until we started getting interested in romance and boys, we did movie nights.
Cool.
What's your history,
My history
with movies?
I think movies played a less large role in me growing up. I basically grew up. I have two brothers, but I basically grew up as an only child because they moved out. They're quite older than me. So I didn't watch a lot of movies as a kid. I was mostly like playing video games.
Right.
So I feel like movies were kind of...
I was waiting for you to be like, I was outside.
No. Also an indoor kid. We're both indoor cats these days. But yeah, I was mostly watching, I watched movies, but it wasn't as exciting to me as video games.
Okay,
so
I
would memories for me of watching movies though were mostly out at our cottage.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. We would always rent
movies are like time fillers.
Yes, so we'd rent a movie and then go to the cottage and
Right.
watch it out there for an evening or
Right.
something. And I think like movies I watched, actually one of them a series was James Bond. Me and my dad watched every single James Bond.
I have so much to say about
I
James
know
Bond,
you
but
do.
I will not
I know
say
you.
anything
Not
about
for this.
James
yeah,
Bond.
yeah, not for this episode. But
No.
anyway, so I don't feel like they had as big of a role in my childhood as you did. But obviously, I'm a fan of movies in general. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I think, movies, just to get really gross and cheesy, movies played a really big role in my imagination. And I also think that movies, along with TV shows, but I would say mostly movies, taught me so much stuff, especially like emotional learning.
Right.
Because there was not a lot of emotional teaching going on in my household. And no fault of anyone's, but movies and TV just taught me so much about that sort of thing that I think some people just forget. Like before, I was thinking about the costumes and the set and the story and the symbolism and the actors and the actresses. It was the lesson.
Just like learning how to act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Showing me how to act.
Yeah, I totally feel that.
Like,
Yeah.
for the love of God, someone model something for me.
Yeah.
So, movies bring a huge magic
Yeah.
to my brain. And
I
I also
agree with that.
And
Yeah.
I think they're I don't know, growing up, I was like a lot of my birthdays as a kid, like I wanted to go see a movie around my birthday. And I had like the summer Blockbuster birthday because I'm in June. Yeah, so all the cars, every single Cars movie was the birthday at the movie theaters. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm an October baby, so Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, you had like the November Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Usually there's a big one in, like around that time.
Yeah, I did a few movie theater birthday parties
Yeah.
as a kid.
But even like growing up, like I was like, okay, tonight I'm going to have a party, but it's going to be a movie watching party. And I super quickly learned that you cannot make a room full of 10 people shut up to watch a movie.
No, it doesn't really work
I
like
learned
that.
that really hard. But I just always wanted to watch movies.
And see, that is why I love the movie theater. Is because it's one of the only spaces that you go and no one's on their phone, no one's doing anything. They're just eating which is not the main focus, but they're just sitting there in a dark room watching something.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have a lot of that anymore.
No.
I like
And
it.
Just speaking really quick to movie theater etiquette, if you're watching this and you are someone who takes out their phone during the movie, sometimes it's automatic because we are just a culture that is addicted. But oh my gosh, movie theater etiquette is don't kick the chair in front of you. Don't go on your phone. And if you're going to talk as quietly as you possibly can.
I sometimes accidentally boop the chair ahead of me
Okay,
because I'm really tall.
Yeah, that's different. But if you're someone who doesn't even care.
But I still feel bad about it.
Yeah. I always whisper like, sorry. Yeah. But
the phone is awful.
Put your phone away. And it's
just,
such a good opportunity to not use it.
It's so nice.
Yeah,
it's such a
great.
great excuse to just set it away.
Just
Sorry,
put it
I was
away.
out of movie. Airplane mode, off,
Airplane
whatever.
mode. There should be also a
Silence,
movie theater mode.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Everything's disconnected.
Done.
Yeah.
Brightness down.
Brightness all the way.
Everything.
Dark. Do not disturb.
It's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah. I don't do airplane mode, but
Yeah, well.
excuse me. So anyway, yeah, this podcast is going to be a weekly discussion of a movie that we have seen that week. And I also think we're going to include some fun aspects to it. Fun aspects to it.
Cool.
So I also think it would be really funny to include some Letterboxd reviews.
I love that.
Yes. So if you don't know what Letterboxd is, it's an app that you can use to rate movies, review them, read reviews of them.
Oh, I love that.
And a
So
lot
we
of them
can
are
be
really
like,
funny.
Karen says, not enough managers. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
You know?
You don't know the Karen culture because that would be a half star out of 5.
Right. Yeah.
They're cutthroat.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are funny. And I think it's always fun to see what other people are saying. So,
Yes.
you know, if we see a movie and Patrick really likes it and I really don't like it, then we can talk about that. Probably end up trying to convince the other one to like it or not to like it.
Totally.
If we're being honest. But also see what other people are saying because there's usually people who don't and people who do.
Yeah,
typically.
Totally. And I love like any sort of content that like incorporates reviews. Because
Yes.
funny reviews are amazing,
Funny
but then
reviews are
different
so
perspectives.
funny.
And it's like, whoa, that was really good.
Different
point.
perspectives are
I
so
love that.
important, people.
One thing, like I haven't really even thought about this until kind of right now. But one thing I like the idea of our podcast that we've already kind of agreed on is we're going to see the movie, not talk about it, and then just sit down as soon as we get home and just hit record. And what I love about that vibe is going to create is, you know, like you finish the movie and like you're just waiting for that like credit to roll or like it just to end. And then you turn to your person and you're
so
like,
many thoughts.
oh my God,
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
I want the start of the podcast to feel like that.
Yeah, like we just finished the movie and we cannot wait to get our butts in these chairs. So we can be
and
like,
just boom.
yeah, and also this is the studio of Patrick Smith.
Yeah.
So welcome to it.
Also a YouTuber.
Yes, for those of you
for
who cannot
context.
see, it is, well, it's a room with 2 microphones.
Just a bunch of
and a couch.
and just a bunch
Someday
of blue
we'll be talking to
on
you
the
from that
couch.
couch. But
for now,
in the meantime,
we wanted to do a little sort of also section where we
little
just
bit of a
ask each other
questionnaire.
questions,
so you guys get more
a
of
little
an
bit of a
understanding
context about us.
of who we are. Before we start these questions, I do want to include
Yeah.
that I think our perspectives are interesting because we're so different. So I would say that I have an English degree, which was said already. And during that English degree, I still have such a long way to go, but I did learn a lot about critical thinking. I did. And that makes me really annoying. But usually if I'm in an open mood, it leads to good discussion. And oops, sorry. Patrick has a business degree.
Which is, I feel like that's not telling of me as a
Nerd.
person. Like, I feel like if you're like, Patrick has a business degree, you probably get a quick idea and then you don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Because you
But
very much think like,
I would think you bring more of a logical.
yeah.
I feel like you kind of come, not that I'm like void of logic, but you kind of come logic first, whereas I come with like oh, that movie had so many whimsical songs in it. And he's like, why does everyone know how to sing the same songs and dance the same dances?
I mean, like, no. Because if it's a musical, then I'm like, okay. For me, see, I'm already getting logical with it. You establish how the world works, and then I'm cool. You have to establish the parameters. In musical movies, everyone knows the words to songs, so I would never question that. Of course they do.
Right.
But there are...
Okay, so I feel like when I go to the movies, I am ready, like, I'm just suspending my disbelief. It's gone.
I suspend it, but, like, within the universe. So, like, for example, Indiana Jones. He's pretty much invincible, so I'm not like, oh my God, the bullets aren't hitting him. That's just Indiana Jones.
Right.
He doesn't get shot.
Right.
Right? But there are...
He is invincible.
Exactly. That's Indiana Jones's character. Game of Thrones, I hate to bring up this. They start the series where like all your actions have severe consequences.
Too soon.
And then at the end of the show, it's actually people can
we're talking about movies.
Crazy stuff. Right? So as long as you stay within the lines of like how you set your universe, I'm cool.
But what if Universal things change?
Then there should be a good reason that's related to the story.
We're gonna get to know each other. We're gonna and feel free to leave comments of some of the answers to your
with
question.
us. Yeah, do that.
Engage, and I'm gonna read them all. I want to know what
she will read.
I don't know what all of Patrick's questions are. That's the thing. We don't know what each other's questions are.
I want to start.
Wow, that was
it's a super easy, quick zinger to start things off.
A zinger. Okay, let's.
What is your preferred movie row?
Row?
Yeah, what row do you sit in at the movies?
Oh, at the theater.
Yeah.
Okay, so, God, what if movie theaters look different?
Okay, so just to get an idea of movies, you have screen, you have like the little walkway. You come out like on the two sides, when you enter from the two sides, and there's like a walkway. And usually towards the screen, it goes even lower.
Yes.
So I would call that like row -1.
Okay, but they're with letters.
Okay, so like
I know
-A.
I know exactly what my answer is, but I just want everyone to
and
understand.
And then if you're heading away from the screen, I would say A, B, C, and so on.
Okay, my preferred row. This is like a standard movie theater because some of them are small.
Yeah, I think we've painted a picture.
It's also different in IMAX.
Yes.
In IMAX, I want to be dead squat in the middle.
Okay, so...
No, sorry. I want to be closer to the back because the IMAX screen is so big.
Okay, and so when it's like steeper seating.
Yes, I want to be closer to the back because it's hard to get the full picture when you have to like really move your head.
Yep.
But in a regular... run-of-the-mill theater, C.
Okay,
Third
so you're
row from
A,
the
B,
aisle.
C.
So yeah, like the aisle, and then there's like A, which is also where the wheelchair accessible seating is.
Yep.
Then there's B, and then C, and I like to be C.
Okay.
Would you like to know why?
So
What's yours?
Just so we're clear, that's like putting you slightly below the middle of the screen. Would you say?
Yeah, it's not in the middle.
You're not in the middle of the screen.
No, it's below the middle seats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's yours, Patrick?
I would probably call myself like an E or F. I kind of like smack dab in the
Canceled.
middle. Yeah, no.
Okay, so here's my reasoning. Wait, you just like to be in the middle.
My reasoning is like for what you said for IMAX. If I'm too close, I can't get the full image.
Okay, yeah. I like my screen to feel big. So in IMAX, it feels big no matter what. But I have found... like, you know, when I was a teenager, I liked to sit in the back to like hold hands with people, kiss people. I don't know what I was doing. And it looks so small from back there. And TVs in homes now are so big that, well, they're not that big.
It's like what percentage of your...
But I want it to feel like a grand spectacle.
Like your entire vision is just movie
like I don't want to be
Right.
craning my neck and looking up because that's just weird and it skews... everything.
Yeah.
But I do want to be right in the middle of row C. So I have to turn my head a little bit, but it just makes me like smile the entire time because it feels you're just so much more immersed in it. And typically most people then are sitting behind you. So then I cannot people watch because if people are, and this is a me problem, when people are sitting in front of me, I want to know what they're eating. When I see them lean in to whisper, what are they whispering about? And I think about what part it is. Why did it make them whisper?
Yeah, okay. I see that.
That's my C.
I see that. I respect that answer a lot.
Thank you.
Because I think typically people hate on very front movie dwellers, but you're like, I don't want my neck to crane because that's the big complaint.
Yeah.
Don't want my neck
Dweller
tilting
is
up.
like the word of the day.
Yeah.
Dwell. Look it up. Learn
I get it.
Know it.
I'm more of like an E or F,
Yeah.
but
I'm happy in E and F.
Yeah.
But if you sit me in the back.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the back either.
No.
I don't need the back.
I guess I'd rather sit in the back than the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You hit me with a question.
Oh, I didn't think anyone's expecting this one to come up. But Patrick, what is your favorite movie?
Whoa, that's
What?
crazy.
Give us some intel. Or maybe like a couple. Like it's really hard to pick
like
one.
a top 5, like a loose top 5. How about?
Sorry, I keep burping. Yeah.
Okay.
How about a hummus?
Okay. I think one of my favorites will forever be Ocean's 11. I'm a sucker for a heist movie. It's tragic, but I love me a good heist.
You can be tragic.
Yeah. Honestly, I am super basic when it comes to movies.
That's okay.
I gotta say, probably Avengers Infinity War.
All right.
It's super basic, but it's a great movie.
No, the one trick, people like kind of shit themselves when they hear this question, but one crazy trick is like, don't think about it too much. Whatever movies come to your brain, those are probably your favorite movies.
You're right. I'm going to say actually a James Bond movie. I'm going to say one of the more recent ones, probably Skyfall.
Jinx.
Yeah. Maybe Casino Royale, but the Daniel Craig James Bond movies.
Yes, I've seen them all.
Inception.
Okay.
That is up there for sure.
Gotcha.
A weird one is The Big Short.
Oh my gosh. I always thought that
movie.
was about baseball.
It has.
I don't know why.
Listen, it has Margot Robbie.
Robbie.
See, this
Robbie.
is why I'm not good at this.
Canceled.
Margot Robbie.
Sorry.
Robbie.
Yeah.
And Ryan.
Watch it be Robbie.
Oh.
Gosling. Reynolds.
Who's Ken?
Ryan Gosling.
Okay, and Ryan Gosling.
Who's Ken?
It's Ryan. Sorry, we're not on a last name basis.
Ugh. Anyway. Okay.
That's 5.
Is that supposed to make me watch it?
Well, I could trick you and be like, want to watch a movie with those two people?
I know. Anyway, you're allowed to like what you like.
Yeah. I think that's going to be my top 5, roughly
Nice.
speaking. Yeah. You want to hit me with yours?
Oh,
A loose top 5.
Oh my gosh, this is so hard because it depends what genre. I literally just said how to make this question easy.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's
just what comes to
not.
mind. What kind of shirt are you wearing?
What kind of shirt am I wearing? What if I told you I hate this movie?
You don't.
Okay. My top 5, I wouldn't call this in particular order, but Disney's Tarzan. That's a childhood one. I love the soundtrack. Some people kind of hate the soundtrack. I love it. I have a lot of nostalgia around that movie. Jurassic Park.
Nice.
If you can't see this, I'm wearing a Jurassic Park shirt from Walmart, not sponsored. And yeah, Jurassic Park, I don't know. I just think it's really fun. It's a weird comfort movie, and I think the T-Rex is really freaking cool. I also really love Wonder Woman.
Ooh, the first one.
The first one.
Nice.
Oh, not the second one.
That is a great movie.
Yeah, the first one. Gal Gadot drives me crazy. So I think like she is the perfect Wonder Woman because she really has no idea what's going on. And in that movie, Diana has no idea what's going on. And it fits really good together because I'm like, sweet, this real person doesn't know and this fake person doesn't know. So it's kind of like method acting.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But I really, oh man, that movie made me want to get strong. I looked at the women in that movie and I was like, yep,
It was so good.
It was so good.
It's like, why does
so
DC
good.
have this one just...
There's a few, but that one.
I guess if we're counting like Dark Knight trilogy.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's Batman. Anyway, I really love the first Wonder Woman. What else do I love? I love Scream. When it comes to slasher, cheesy horror, I love how meta Scream is. I think it's genius. I love Neve Campbell. She's the main character in it.
Yep.
I love what's his face who played Shaggy. I forget his name.
It's got Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah,
I
really.
I
David
do really
Arquette.
enjoy it. You introduced me to Scream. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, I love the Scream franchise. And I think I get one more.
Yeah, you're on 4.
Man, I feel like I really need to pick like a really fun rom-com.
Oh.
Man, I have to go with Mamma Mia.
Oh.
Yeah, which I guess is a romantic musical comedy.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Why are they singing? How do they all know these songs?
Because everyone knows every ABBA song.
Actually, it's so valid. Yeah, of course they know how
That's
to sing.
the only
Gimme,
movie
gimme.
it's allowed because obviously everyone knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just smile the entire time until the mom and daughter have that moment. That makes me sob. But every other moment in the movie, it's so fun. And Patrick's going to watch it with me for my birthday. That's my birthday present.
I am. Yeah.
And you'll understand.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah.
It's so electric and magnetic and fun and bright, and the costumes are fun. And anyway, that's it.
Okay.
That's
so
mine.
Is it my turn to hit you with a question?
It is your turn. Hit me with that question.
All right. So this might take a little bit to think about. So I'm going to answer first.
It's a thinker.
Just to give you a thinker. Maybe. I don't know. What is your favorite movie scene of all time?
Oh my gosh, I think that was one of my questions.
Oh, nice.
No, it's not.
Okay, well, I will go ahead and start answering while I give you a little bit of time to think on this.
Movie scene.
I said one of my favorite movies is probably Infinity War. I don't like Endgame as much as Infinity War because it's kind of just like, the throwback to all the other movies. But the scene where it's just Captain America standing there and you on your left. God, it's so basic, but that scene is so good. Every single Avengers character from the last 10 years that we've been watching.
No, it was a beautiful moment, and it was really
good.
Special in the movies when everyone was like,
right,
yes!
like everyone in the movie, and that's what I mean. Like it's basic, but it's like good for a reason because it's so good.
Yeah, no, it's true, and also, who cares if it's basic?
Yeah,
it's like pop music. You're supposed to like it.
That's the thing. I'm not going to be here and be like, "Yo, my favorite movie is
from the silent film from 1941."
Yeah, Casablanca. Like, sorry.
LOL.
Yeah. My other answer, I would say maybe just because I love Inception so much, is the final scene with the spinning top. It's just.
I'll allow that.
Yeah.
Because I'm the police.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So benevolent of you.
I don't even know what the word benevolent means. Holy cowabunga. This is like one of the most impossible questions of all time. So I'm trying to think of my favorite movies and like the moments.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to think of this later when I'm going to bed and be like, wow, I should have said that to sound way cooler.
I have an answer for you.
Oh my gosh. Well, hot dog. Give it to me.
Okay. In the first Jurassic Park, the scene where you see the big, tall, long-necked dinosaurs, the Bronchiosaurus. No? Okay.
But that is very magical.
Yeah.
My favorite scene from that movie is definitely the T-Rex, one of the T-Rex.
Okay.
Yeah. Or Jeff Goldblum laying there shirtless.
Okay.
Because I am a woman first and foremost who is sometimes attracted to men. Oh my gosh. Honestly, one of the scenes that comes to mind is from Wonder Woman, and it's when they're in the trenches.
Oh.
And it's slow-mo, and okay, this is so silly, but she like bends down and she doesn't have the thing on her forehead, and she comes up and the thing is just perfectly on her forehead.
Oh, really? I didn't know
and her hair
that.
still looks fine. So, but it's still really cool. And
when the bullets are shooting at her and she's got the shield.
And she slow motion comes out of the trenches and she has her shield and it's showing like all of her costume parts and stuff. Oh, I just think that's such a badass moment.
It is a great moment.
Please remove the fact that it's Gal Gadot, and it's so cool because like it's Wonder Woman and she's so strong, and I feel like before that there hasn't been like in recent years, like in like the big superhero recent modern fad, there wasn't a woman. Like a super cool superhero.
Oh, before the
woman.
Recent.
Yeah, before the recent. Because I'm also, if a woman and a Black Widow movie defender till the day I die.
You like Black Widow.
I loved that movie, but there was just nobody. And it's like, it's awesome to see like these strong dudes being super kick-ass and like Black Widows and Avengers, and there's definitely more that I just cannot remember right now. But like
Catwoman,
Gamora,
Yeah.
Mantis. Wouldn't really call her badass.
Well, you do have your big woman endgame moment.
Oh my god, barf. But I don't know, that woman in Wonder Woman.
Yeah, no, that is a great scene.
That scene. Oh my gosh, I had such crazy goosebumps.
Yeah.
It was so good. But I'm sure I'll think of one later. Maybe even next week I'll be like, hey, remember when I said that scene was my favorite? Well, I have a new one because recency bias.
Yeah.
All right, it's my turn.
You got one for me?
You
got one cooked
diddly-do.
up already.
Oh, this one's great.
Let's hear it.
What's your least favorite movie or a movie that heavily disappointed you?
Okay, you know what came straight to mind?
Napoleon.
Yeah. Oh my god, that movie was so bad.
Oh, it was so bad except that one scene.
So I don't like the battle.
Yeah, like, but not even Waterloo, like the first
okay,
battle.
I feel like no one even here saw Napoleon because it got such bad reviews. But basically,
if you saw Napoleon, you will be compensated.
It would be like I saw this review that was like, imagine if you saw a movie about the Beatles and 80% of it is about John Lennon and Yoko Ono's relationship.
Yeah.
And then there's like a cool battle. So I don't know.
And it wasn't even accurate. Like, he was there for the beheading of Marie
That's
Antoinette.
True. I don't even mind that if it was good.
They didn't even happen at this. That was a cool scene. You got to see someone get beheaded.
It was a cool scene, and he's like eating an apple or something, or I don't know, on his iPhone, or anyway.
On his
okay, you're trying to condense like this entire general's life into like 3 hours, but then you're also trying to do a love story.
2 hours was like the love story.
Yeah, and I just think it should have been a like TV.
He should have been
10
pining over
series.
her. He should have been more flamboyant. There should have been more colors.
Yeah. Also, who is Napoleon? I don't know because the character was just so.
Joaquin did not do it for me.
I felt like he was all over the place. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I was excited for it. I was like, some good war history.
We went on a plane recently, and the two men in front of me turned on Napoleon to watch, and I was so tempted to lean in between their seats and be like, don't watch that. Don't watch that. Don't watch that. And then slowly sink back.
Okay, so that's just what came to mind, and I just have to go with that. Do you have a movie that you hate?
Wonder Woman 2.
Oh, 1984?
Nah, so awful.
Never even saw it.
Compared to how good the first one is, it was tragic. I think
really
I cried
unfortunate.
because I was sad about it.
That's so unfortunate.
And it was my first movie back after COVID. Like, they reopened the movie theater.
Bad one.
And I was like, truck yeah, I'm going home, baby. And then it sucked.
That is really tragic.
I was like, this is the stupidest thing of all time. I hate when movies and TV shows, unless it's done really well, bring back a dead person. It's one of my least favorite things.
Oh, he comes back?
He does. Spoiler alert, don't watch it.
That's so stupid.
I would actually encourage you to watch Napoleon before Wonder Woman 2. He comes back, but in another man's like body.
Oh.
It's really weird, and it made me really upset because the first one was really special to me and really good. I love
really
that
tragic.
people are going to listen to this and be like, man, these two people are thinking they can make a podcast about movies and all they've talked about is James Bond and Wonder Woman. Give us a little credit, okay, guys?
Okay, what's your favorite villain? Who's your favorite villain?
Oi. Who's your favorite villain?
Okay, I have two answers.
What? I feel like we should do one cartoon, one real.
Okay, well, I have my two answers already.
Okay, what's your
answers?
answers?
This is to balance things out a little bit, first of all, with the like, oh, these people aren't real movie watchers. The villain in No Country for Old Men.
Never seen it, so.
So great. Just a chaotic evil.
Nice.
Amazing. He like walks into a corner store, flips a coin, and he's like holding a gun to this guy's head, and he gets heads, so he shoots him. And then it's like there's other moments where it's like, oh, congratulations, like you had good luck today.
Dang.
He's really spooky. So that's my like, I'm a movie buff answer. But honestly, Thanos.
Okay, fair.
Just like
fair. Man, I can't even think of villains.
Great conviction.
Yeah.
Like so many iconic lines. You almost are rooting for him because you're like, wow, this guy has it together so much better than the good guys. Like, yeah, he deserves to kill everybody.
Okay, well, to be fair, the good guys need to plan after they learn about his plan.
It's true.
However, I love a villain that knows what they're doing.
Yes.
I really do. I love an organized crime.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it just...
maybe I have one.
Okay.
I Okay, so my thing with villains, before I give you all my answer, drum roll. My thing with villains is that I think usually they're way more interesting. Like,
Agreed.
I'm at the point now where good guys just bore me because it's like, congrats, you're trying to be good. Who's telling you to be good? American propaganda. Like, it's
like noble for the sake of noble.
And
yeah.
like, I mean, and I love Captain America, but probably because he's hot. If he was an ugly guy, I'd be like, you're stupid.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
I think Captain America is balanced out with like a lot of the other.
Yeah.
Others.
However,
yeah.
I love when like good guys are like fighting. Like, I like when there's gray. I don't like when it's clear good, clear bad. That being said, I love Disney villains, which is so clear good, clear bad. It hurts. Because I find that with Disney villains, especially in the Renaissance time-ish, which was like 90s, like early 2000s, I think, they were so like queer.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
like Ursula's modeled after a drag queen, Divine.
Okay.
Yeah, from The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
And you can see it. If you put pictures of those bad boys up together, you see it immediately.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like Jafar from Aladdin.
Oh, yeah.
He's so like, and Scar from The Lion King. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That actually makes me think of a new question. Anyway, I think my favorite, I'm going to say a cartoon one, and it's going to be Hades from Hercules. I don't even like the cartoon movie Hercules that much, but I think Hades is hilarious. Hilarious. Like, so funny. And the first thing that came to mind was Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh, that's a good answer too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's so great when he's on the screen.
So
it's
good.
just so like
so good.
I'll be rewatching, and I'm not really paying attention, and then he comes on like, okay, I gotta like this is this is what I'm here for.
He stole the show.
Really,
he stole the show.
Yeah,
and that's what came to my mind first. So that's what I'm gonna say first.
Cool.
And later on, I'm gonna think of another villain that I should have said. I'm gonna be like, damn it. All right, I think it's my turn.
It is totally.
Wait,
your
can I
turn.
include a question really quick?
Yeah.
Oh, what's your movie animated crush? And is it the horse from Spirit? No, I'm kidding.
Okay, my brain went to a TV character.
No.
Okay, my TV animated crush is Shigo from Kim Possible.
Okay, fair.
But is it Thorn from one of the Hex Girls?
Yes,
from
I think she's the main
Scooby-Doo
Hex
and the
girl.
Witch's Ghost. I think it's Thorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
The singer.
Luna's one of them.
Not Luna.
No.
Pretty
I feel
sure
like it
it's
is Thorn.
Thorn. Yeah. I think that would be my
Yeah,
my
she's
movie
awesome.
crush. Yeah.
And they were in TV shows, but Witch's Ghost,
Yeah, she's in a movie.
Legend of the Vampire. Anyway, I think. Mine is not a person. It's Kovu from The Lion King 2. That was my very first like bad boy story. Like, and I was obsessed. I was like, oh, he's so bad, but he loves her.
And he's
it was
a
like
tiger.
enemies to lovers. And I was obsessed. I was like, just no one understands him. It's not his fault. It was his upbringing. So anyway, that's my extra question.
What's your
Okay, but my
hit me.
actual next question is, what is a movie that you did not understand and maybe still don't?
Oh, wow.
And does Christopher Nolan come to mind?
Oh, well, Tenet.
I've never seen Tenet.
Okay.
I've meant to.
I understood Tenet, but it was one of those movies that I was really just like, all right there, old Chrissy Nolan. I'm trusting you that all this is actually right and lines up. I can't like follow this all in my brain.
Right.
I know what's happening. I know how it ended. I know that I get the plot.
Yeah.
But I don't have enough like mental horsepower to be like, okay, pinning all these all together and then backwards, and yeah, it all lines up. Like,
hey, don't give it away.
He could have easily just.
You think he could have cleaned it up a little bit?
No, I'm saying
Christopher Nolan, if you're listening.
No. I'm saying that movie could easily not have been pieced together correctly. Like you know that it's like a time.
Yeah.
Backwards and forwards basically is the
Oh,
concept.
time jumps.
It could not. It could actually not work out. And I would have no idea. So that's yeah. Do you have
that
an
makes
answer?
sense? Oh yeah, and mine's Christopher Nolan too. I think. Yep. Inception. Yeah, Inception.
Okay.
I still don't understand it.
I have watched like a 40-minute
Perhaps also
like TED
Interstellar.
talk on it twice
Interstellar
to understand Inception, and it makes it like
a TED Talk. Who's
it's not
TED
real.
talking?
It's like a Google Talk, but I just said TED Talk. Yeah, you're right. I should have just said what it was.
You know what? We're gonna get a big TED sign, and I'm gonna do TED Talks in here.
These are TED.
Tom, Dick, and Harry.
TEDx. TEDx.
It's not a podcast. It's TED Talk.
No, TEDx.
Sorry.
That was a good question.
Yeah, but yeah, one of those. I mean, I haven't watched Inception in a long time, but I'm sure if I watched it again, I'd be like, still don't. All right, what's your next question?
What is the most visually appealing movie?
Ooh.
Do you have a quick answer, or do you want me to answer first?
Oh, I have. Can I have a couple?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Okay. I love color, and I love whimsy.
Yeah.
So, when I was in 6th grade, the first movie, there's always a backstory here.
Yeah.
I remember everything. And when I was in 6th grade, I thought I was gay. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. I saw Alice in Wonderland, like the live action, with my friend. That was my first time going to the movie theaters without my parents. And I sat it near the front row, I remember, and I was like, and it's pretty dark.
You satted?
I satted.
Okay.
I satted.
Okay.
I was sat. And it's pretty dark. Like, it's not super colorful and bright, but oh my gosh.
Just like those visuals.
Yeah, the visuals. I was like, this is so cool. The costumes are so cool. The set is cool. I'm scared, but I'm comfortable. Oh, it's so neat. I also really like 2012 for that reason. Not the costumes, but like
the movie.
CGI. I love CGI.
Yep.
However, my recent one, Barbie.
Oh, that is a saturated,
if I could
colorful
drink
movie.
The set of Barbie.
That would taste so good.
Oh, it would taste so yummy.
What would Barbie taste like? I feel like it'd be like a fruity drink.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, very tropical.
Just like daiquiri.
Okay, you want to know mine?
What's yours?
Across the Spider-Verse.
Ooh.
Just so...
You win this one.
Yeah, I kind of do.
That's what everyone should like. Whoever has the better answer, you can just like comment the score down below.
I can't even really speak to it.
And
It's just if you haven't seen it, that's the second one.
Oh, it was so good.
So
I think my mouth was open the whole time. I was just like.
They're just so loose with it too, which I really liked. I just felt like they were like given a pretty wide range for a creative vision. And there's just a lot of times where like the scene is just like totally changing color to express something. It's like, wow, like I feel like a lot of movies wouldn't.
Why wouldn't you do that with animation?
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah, I feel like animation is so like limited.
You have
like they stay within such a tight box, and it's like that movie shows you what you could do.
And animation too. I'm such a firm believer. If you want to know more about this, what's his name? Oh, Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
I believe. He says like animation is not a child's genre. It's a medium. So there can be anyway, I just completely agree. There's just so much creative freedom with animation. I wish that the Academy recognized it more. Yeah.
Cool.
That's pretty much it for that question, but that is a really good answer. I think I only have one more that I want to ask you.
Okay. I've got
Oh, no, I have two more.
Okay, let's
But the final one, it could be our end question.
Okay, our end question. All right, we'll hold on to that bad boy.
So what is the scariest movie you have ever seen? And what is a movie that has made you cry?
Oh,
Patrick
okay.
doesn't cry that much.
First movie that made me cry, like for not from being scared because I'm like a child.
They don't have to be connected.
Was Click. The Adam Sandler movie. There's at the end of the scene, at the end of the movie, he's like laying down on the rain in the rain. He's old. His whole life is just fast forward, and the whole concept is that like life is all about these small little moments.
Right.
And he's like screaming at his son because his son just got married and they're not going on a honeymoon because he has to work. And he's like, "Family first, family first." And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, family first. I'm 12. Like what? Like, and it's advertised as a funny movie.
It is,
but it's
that's
extremely
why I never rented
sad.
It. I never rented it from the movies because I'm the least likely to watch a comedy.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's the first movie that made me cry.
Okay, what's the scariest movie?
The scariest movie that comes to my mind instantly. I don't even know what it's called. It was probably like 2016, 2015. Might have been like Lights Out.
I think it's called Lights Out.
The concept is that there's a girl like demon that can only exist in the dark.
Oh, I thought about this the other night when you went home.
Yeah. And so after seeing it, like there's just scenes where there's like a flickering light and, you know, the light turns off and it's nothing. And then it flickers back on again, flickers off, and then she's there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then that kind of concept of just this like shadow lurking. So after I saw it, every time I would turn the lights off in like the living room, I'm waiting to see this figure.
He would have a candle on a stick, so it wouldn't be dark.
Oh, that's what I needed. Yeah. So that movie. I was at least 20, and it just stuck with me for months.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, here's
Let's
mine.
hear yours. I'm gonna look it up just so we got it.
Almost every movie makes me cry. That's
true.
not why I asked this question. Actually, I just added this question in because I was curious about him. But I would say I cried the hardest watching Little Women. And it's the most recent one. So the one with Emma Watson, that one, and only real ones know. Real ones understand. It's not necessarily a sad movie, like someone dies, but oh my gosh, like the sisterhood aspect and the family aspect, and I cried so hard the entire time. And the last song. However, the scariest movie I've ever seen, I watched The Shining when I was in fourth grade.
No.
And like you watch it now and you're like, I don't know. Even though different things scare different people, that got me. That bathroom scene, honestly, the blood coming out of the elevator, terrifying. I don't know if it was the music and the way it was shot. Oh my God. And I was eating like those sour keys, like sour candies. And for years after, every time I ate one, I was like,
emotional response.
My God. I was like brought back to it.
That's
and
crazy.
It terrified me. And I was way too young to watch it. And yeah, I slept. Well, my sister did not let me, but I would like crawl into my sister's bed. But her room was right across from the bathroom. So then I would look in the bathroom and look at the tub. So I was so confused because I didn't want to be alone in my room, but then my sister's room. So I often ended up sleeping on the couch, which is so weird because that's a giant room in the living room. I don't know, man. And I looked down the hallway and I thought about the hallway scene. Nowhere was safe.
Nowhere was safe.
Yeah,
Cool.
That's mine. So passionate about that.
What is your favorite and least favorite movie adaptations from books?
Oh.
I can start if you'd like to think about it.
Yeah, you can start.
All right.
Is this your last one?
I mean, I've got a few.
Right.
But
what's our time here?
We're great. Don't even worry about it.
Well, I'm getting hungry. All right, go.
My favorite movie adaptation in general, I think they did a really good job of the early Harry Potters. Like the first movie, it does such a good job of just introducing you to this like wild world in like 15 minutes. I think that's really well done. 2 also does a really good job of kind of expanding it, but getting a little darker. And then I think 3 is kind of like the peak of that.
Yeah.
After that, the books got so big that they really struggled, and it shows.
It's tough.
So I don't fault them, but I would say like the first 3 Harry Potters, all 3 for kind of a different reason, but especially 1 and 3. Actually, Harry Potter 3 is probably one of my favorite movies too.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I would say that's probably my favorite adaptations. And I think my least favorite is a childhood, like I'm still salty about this, is the Aragon series. I think you read them too, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's like this
why did they do that?
This childhood prodigy, you know, he's writing like the next Lord of the Rings, and they're good books, I think. You said they don't hold up well to an adult reader.
That's what I said?
I think so. I think you tried to go back and read them and you said they're not as good as they were as a kid. But great, like just fantasy, just classic fantasy, really solid. And the book was so bad. I'm 12 and I am here like with the notepad, like, what is going on? They didn't follow this plot line. All these characters, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. You don't even understand his motives. Bad everything. It was so bad. It sold so poorly. They didn't even make the rest of the series. It's a four book series. They didn't even do it.
They didn't even get the rest of it.
They should probably come back and do like a TV series, but they won't because the movie did so bad that they'll never be able to.
Oh, they might like in a really long time.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like mine's going to be like the Bear Stained Bears or something crap like that. Man,
And if you don't have an answer, that's okay too. You know?
One that I'm thinking of, and the rest of the series didn't get made, but I loved the movie, maybe because Brendan Fraser was in it.
Let's hear it.
But Inkheart.
Oh.
So
yeah.
Yeah, I loved excuse me. I loved that trilogy as a kid. That was like my first, I would say like my first big kid series, you know? Like there was like some romance but it was like I love fantasy so much. And then the movie came out and I was so excited to see it with my mom. And obviously it didn't hit as hard as the book because nothing ever does.
Yeah.
I have my next answer.
Let's hear it.
Anyway, but you know what? Actually, I think I'm going to call this my like not as favorite one.
Okay.
Like I loved it, but I think they didn't do good, and that's why the rest of the books didn't get made.
Yeah.
And that really hurt my heart because I think it had a lot of potential. And it's really cool. I definitely recommend you check it out if you like fantasy. It's kind of childish, but check out Inkheart. And I think my favorite is The Hunger Games.
Okay, great answer. I think you win, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the only
well done
example ever where I liked the movie, the first one anyway, more than the book.
That is a great answer.
Yeah.
We just recently rewatched those.
Yeah. I thought it just exploded the book.
They're
And usually the
good.
movie narrows the book.
They're like better even on rewatching.
Yeah.
I thought I was like, I watched them when I was like 16. They're probably not that great.
Yeah,
They're still great.
Yeah. Actually, maybe the worst one is Twilight.
Oh, I never saw Twilight.
What?
Sorry, it wasn't
I've never
really
seen a James Bond.
Yeah, exactly. They're not really each other's demographics.
Oh, man. I mean, it's so funny because it's so memeable now.
Yeah.
But, oh, my Lord. You are not supposed to be more, like, I just feel like Jacob was the hot shot because it was Taylor Lautner.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting political. But
okay.
I really respect it now, but at the time I was like, what?
That's also a funny answer. I
Yeah,
like that answer a lot. Do you have any more questions? Because if you do, I have another one.
Oh, you ask
you
yours,
want.
and then I'll end
Okay.
with my closer.
I held on to this towards the end, so it's like only the real people listening.
Jules?
Congratulations, you've made
Congratulations,
it. You've made it to the deep
end.
end, and now we're going to get controversial.
Oh.
What do you think is the most overrated movie franchise? And I will start. I will begin with my answer to take the daggers because I think it is Star Wars.
What?
So here's the thing.
I don't even really like Star Wars.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of people do, and I don't get it. Okay.
I respect that it was this crazy movie when it first came out. You have to put some love on that.
Okay, so that's what I want to start with. Is the first, let's say the first 4 or 5 episodes, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Nothing but utmost respect for them.
Right.
Because
Right.
like from the 80s, it was a big deal. And I wasn't around at that time. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, that's bad.
We missed the
Obviously, those are like some of the greatest movies of all time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We
George
get to
kind of went off.
we get to episodes 1, 2, and 3. I don't really care for episode 1 or 2.
Man,
I honestly don't even know if I've made it through them.
When
because
when does the whole Vader arc happen?
Well, Vader's like 4, 5, and 6.
Oy.
Episode 3 is the last in that main 6.
Right.
And that's
But
when
it came out after.
That's when Anakin turns into Darth
don't
Vader.
Spoil it. I'm kidding.
That's a great
if that
movie.
spoiled it, you got go touch some grass with the movie.
Episode 3 is great. It's like the peak, I love that. But the next these episodes 1, 2, and 3 are not, I don't think as a whole that
Overrated.
great. I do. And then, and I think everyone here is going to agree with me, the newest iterations are terrible.
No.
And so I think for me, it's like Star Wars had this banger 3, kind of 2 misses, another hit, and then it's been nothing but misses.
Yeah.
And to me, that is why this series is overrated. I didn't say bad, and that's right, but people talk about Star Wars like every single movie in that franchise is a banger.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's batting 50%. And it's tragic.
I feel like we can compare, like people are scared to say that it's not that good.
Yeah.
And I feel like Taylor Swift is entering this zone now, where it's like people are scared to say that they don't like a song because
They don't want the Swifties coming
Sometimes it's
after.
overrated, okay?
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I feel like it's the same zone. Wow, I feel like I was deeply staring at you, but I was not seeing anything because I'm thinking about every single movie I've ever seen and doing bad and trying to think of what was overrated. I would love to know some of the answers to this one. This is a really important one.
Maybe you don't even have to answer. This is just one that people listening can answer.
No, I'm answering. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, guys. I hate not answering questions.
Okay.
Now I can't even answer.
We'll see if you don't have an answer.
Well, like Star Wars to me is over. You know what? Actually, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. Based off the premise that I just don't really like them.
And that's fair too.
Yeah.
That is fair too.
But I will say, honestly, like superhero stuff.
Yeah. Overrated for
It's
sure.
like if you're someone who, like, I've been reading reviews lately about some of like the older ones or like the heyday because, you know, they're not doing as good now. And it might be because the first kind of section was overrated. Like it was so hype.
Yeah.
And it was really good. I had so much fun.
It was great.
But it's almost like you had to be there.
I know.
You know, like I feel like I'm going to show, like, you know, if I have a child or my sister does, or like even your nephews.
Sure.
Like, we're going to be like, whoa, experience this life with me. They're probably going to be like, whoa. But it's not the same as waiting years for the next one.
And then you get the like last little teaser trailer.
Wars?
It
That
probably
might be our Star
is.
Wars.
It totally is. But you get the little teaser at the end.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, what's going to happen next?
I think a lot
but
of
now
those
all the
movies,
new stuff is like,
even like Marvel Phase 1 to 3, I don't think they don't all hold up great. And a lot of them were just good because it was in the hype of that thing. And now there's movies being dropped. Like I heard Blue Beetle was like a 2023 release maybe. And it was like someone said basically if this movie had dropped 10 years ago, it would have been an absolute banger, but it just wrong place at the wrong time.
Because you know what, if you release like a franchise and all these things connect and then you call a movie Endgame, End. Because that's the very last one, right?
Yes.
Sometimes I get confused.
In Phase 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to watch anything after you called something the end, except WandaVision. That's the only one that should be watched.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this is a big thing we can go into, but Marvel's got some great stuff and Marvel's got some bad stuff, and it's definitely got the same of what I said about Star Wars. Yeah. Kind of vibe.
It does have that vibe. And that hurts because we were there. And I feel like this is how my dad feels when I tell him I don't really like Star Wars. He's like, oh my God, you just stabbed me.
Yeah. Can I say another thing that's overrated as a whole series is James Bond.
I was going to say that, but I haven't seen it. So I didn't feel...
I love some of the newer ones. Yeah. I don't even love all of the Daniel Craig ones.
I think
everything
James
before
Bond,
that is like...
I think James Bond is a really fun way to track like what masculinity is doing.
Yeah.
Because,
whoa.
Yeah. Like, so like I feel like in the beginning ones, women are extremely objectified.
Yeah, and it's Sean Connery who's like, yeah, of course you can smack a woman.
Yes. Yeah. And then like as it goes on,
it backs up.
Yeah.
It backs up.
Like women are still only there really as like a prop.
Yeah.
I feel.
But
maybe the new one has a female James Bond. I don't know.
The very last one that has released, he's retired, and the person that's taken the mantle of 007, which is just a title that any agent can have, is a woman.
Right.
But I mean, obviously she's not the main character, and she's not James Bond. Right. She's just the new 007.
Yeah. I truly feel like we just need to stop doing that with women. Like we made the female Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Ocean's 7 rocked. I fucking loved that movie. 8. Ocean's 8 rocked. The cast was insane. But it's just like, just give women their own stories.
Yeah. And I this isn't my own original idea, but I see a lot of people like complaining about how it's like you've got this like over masculine, just like dude killing everything kind of sick guy. And it's like to fix the sexism problem, we've just made women the exact same character as this, but it's a woman, so it's fine. Woman, and it's like, no, you have all the problems with that, like really like flat and uninteresting character too.
Yeah, and it's also like if a woman suddenly becomes that, there's going to be difference. Like it's not just going to be the same.
Yeah,
they're going to anyway. Yeah. Oh God, what a can of tuna that one is.
Yeah. So that was my. What's your last question?
So my last question, we're going to close it off with this.
Alrighty.
Just to give the people some more, just give the people more of an idea of what you've been up to lately. What are some movies that you have seen lately or in 2023 that like have really stuck in there, or even 2024?
Okay.
We could also just say what we've saw lately.
What I've seen lately. I'm trying to think what I've seen lately.
I have to put a plug in for this. Thank you all for asking. I saw Challengers
let's hear
quite recently, and everyone should see that movie. That's it.
Okay, we like Challengers a lot.
I went to see it alone.
Think, what have we seen recently? We saw something really recent. King Kong, Godzilla,
King Kong.
Empire of the
King Kong X. No,
Empire.
Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah, Godzilla X Kong.
Beautiful, beautiful film. No notes.
Yeah, it's just great. See it.
It was just really awesome in IMAX.
I saw Ferrari a few months ago. It was not good.
Right, you saw Ferrari.
Napoleon wasn't good.
Napoleon wasn't good. We saw Oppenheimer. We had to do the Barbenheimer.
Yeah, of course.
Oppenheimer is a movie that you can see once and probably never
Would
watch.
Agree. Another movie that was like that was the it was Robert De Niro and DiCaprio, the Killers of the Flower Moon.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
I enjoyed it, but I never want to watch it again.
I would suggest just reading the book.
Yeah, you read the book before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know every single person says read the book and not watch the movie, but this is actually one that the book I just felt had more important information about the Osage in it. And sorry, I got distracted by a horn. More information about the Osage, and like obviously the movie is 3.5 hours.
It's a lot.
And it still had a lot of things missing.
Right.
And I think it's a really important, obviously watch the movie too, but reading the book is, I think, really important for that story.
We saw Madam Web.
We saw Madam Web. Yep. And there was a kid the entire time talking and making jokes. And I think I would have had a really bad time without that. And
Any other movie, it would have been like, what? But yeah, we needed it.
Movie, but
it was a fun movie going in to just be like, this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
And low expectations often lead to like fine results.
Yeah, and I had no idea about it, but yeah, it was a movie that I saw.
We saw something else kind of recently.
We saw Dune.
Oh, we saw Dune 2.
We saw Dune, Dune 2, yeah.
I saw Dune 1.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Partially on the TV at home, and I was like, this is fine. And then I saw Dune 2, and I was like, oh my God, I get why people are so in love with this.
I have
this
an
is so
obsession
good.
with Austin
and
Butler.
I have started the book, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Dune 2 was great.
Yeah, and we saw Barbie, of course.
We saw Barbie, of course.
I saw Barbie 3 times.
You did see Barbie 3 times. She's more into movies than I am.
We saw Civil War.
Oh, that's the recent one I was thinking.
Oh, my.
That was a fun movie.
I cried
You did
a lot.
cry.
But holy crap. Okay, I did not saying that this makes you desensitized and unable to cry, but I did not grow up playing like shooting games and stuff.
I did.
It's not that I wasn't allowed to. I
Call
just like
of Duty.
preferred Mario and colorful crap like that. And so like when I see a movie about war, usually I'm like a little bit affected. More than,
it
like,
really got you.
But this one was there was no Hollywood glamorizing.
It was so raw.
Yeah, it's just you are dead. You get shot, you're dead.
Bullets
There's
are-
no like, I'm John Wick and I'm gonna come back to life and at the last second.
Bullets are
None.
too loud. Like in the theater, it's like, ow.
Yeah, your
They're
ears
just-
are ringing.
It's quiet and then just like the loudest noise.
And there's moments where you're like, why are they doing that? But that's exactly the question you would be asking.
Yeah.
Like there are wars going on now, which also made me cry. I thought about the people actually going through that, and it hurt me so much. But and Jesse Plemons, who was that guy with the red sunglasses?
Yeah. Oh, such a great actor.
Man, he was in it for like 10 minutes.
The dude from Breaking Bad that everyone hates, Todd from Breaking Bad.
And he's also in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I'm thinking
great.
of Ending Things.
Yeah.
Great book too.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that movie. I'm a sucker for American dystopias. So I really like the scenario of The Purge more than I actually like those movies. And I just this where it was
I love
like
the concept of the purge.
like part of America breaking off because they don't agree with the current government and like fighting and like taking them out. Just thought that was so cool.
Yeah, I like the We could talk about The Purge forever.
Yeah.
There's some scenes from The Purge that I think are so beautiful.
Yeah. Anything?
And some that are so silly.
Right.
Any movies that you've watched at home, like maybe not necessarily in theaters.
That would be
recently.
all you. You got one?
Oh yeah, I watched Anyone But You on the plane,
Okay.
which is a romantic comedy, and it was a movie. You know what? It was fine.
Okay.
It was fine if you're looking for like just something.
Cool.
And I watched Don't Worry, Darling,
Okay.
which was the one with Harry Styles and Florence Pugh that I was telling you about.
Cool.
And that was really cool. I did not know what the ending was, so I thought it was good.
Nice.
People didn't like it. I thought it was good.
All right. So is that
Yeah.
is that
thank
it?
you so much for listening.
Yeah. Thank you. You made it all the way through. That's sick.
You made it all the
We
way
love
through.
that.
Congratulations.
We love that.
And
Congrats.
now on next week's episode, we're going to be talking about a movie.
Our first movie.
Our first.
So something that's dropping
baby's first
now.
movie, kind of
Yeah,
nervous.
very exciting.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Don't forget to
Comments what you think is the most overrated movie.
please tell me what the
franchise.
most overrated movie is. Okay, bye.
Bye.